What are Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson to each other after all? The truth will shock everyone. For over a decade, among countless Hollywood love affairs that come and go like the wind, there is a relationship that people still cannot define. Not a public lover, not just a close friend, not an ex-lover, because it was never an official love. But there is a connection that is smoldering, lasting, subtle and elusive. Jamie Dornan, the Irish man with a gentle smile and eyes that contain more than words. Dakota Johnson, the American actress with cold but deep eyes, a voice as light as the wind that people cannot predict. They first met when casting for 50 Shades of Grey, a controversial film, associated with hot scenes, mixed public opinion and unbelievable box office appeal. When the whole world saw them as two actors who just needed to be compatible in one role, between Jamie and Dakota, an invisible bond was formed. No one knows exactly what happened during the years they filmed the 3 films. But after that, when everything ended, they were not far apart. They still went to events together, still gave each other special looks, still appeared in each other's photos, sometimes so intimate that the whole world had to ask, what are they to each other after all? Silent encounters. In 2021, long after the final part of the series had been released, Jamie and Dakota were once again caught sitting together in a small bar in Venice. No reporters, no paparazzi lenses. Only a waiter told the reporter, they didn't hug. They didn't hold hands, but they looked at each other as if they were the only 2 people alive. Dakota was dating Chris Martin at the time. Jamie was married, but between them, something remained intact. The times of refusal to answer. Reporters often asked the question directly. Jamie, what is your relationship with Dakota? Dakota, were you and Jamie really in love? The answer was always a smile, a polite nod, or sometimes a half joke. We are friends, maybe more than friends, but not necessarily lovers. Dakota told Vogue. I love her, a lot, but not in the way people think. Jamie in an interview with GQ. And so people continued to be curious. The trip to Provence, the untold story. In 2023, a British journalist named Elena Miles suddenly received an anonymous email with a few photos attached. Jamie and Dakota sitting under a lavender tree in Provence, France. No kissing, no touching, but between the 2 of them was silence, the kind of silence that only exists between people who have gone through love, affection, and pain. Elena, who had been following this relationship for a long time, decided to keep quiet. But she quietly wrote a diary entry, never published in the newspaper, leaving only the title. A relationship that needs no definition. In that diary, she wrote, I used to believe that everything could be named. But when I looked at the 2 of them, I saw something that language could not describe. Not love, nor not love, something no one else could understand, except themselves. The last time they appeared in public together, in September 2024, at the Venice Film Festival, Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan unexpectedly appeared on the red carpet together, not for a movie, not for a promotional campaign. They just walked together. The reporters were surprised. After all, they were standing together like they had been years ago. No one explained why, and when asked, Jamie only said, there are friends who are always there. Even when life changes, even when they are no longer working together, even when they don't have a name. Dakota is like that. Dakota answered more briefly, not all precious things have to be public. The truth between the 2, a mutual friend's perspective. A close friend of the 2 who worked with them on 50 Shades, who asked not to be named, once shared in a private conversation with the press. I don't know if they were ever in love, but I know that when Dakota cried during a time when she was heavily criticized by the press, Jamie was the only one who called to ask if she was okay. And I know that when Jamie lost her father, Dakota was the first one to send a handwritten letter, not via email, not through an assistant. There was something very real between them, but also very private. If they loved each other, maybe they didn't realize it. Or they knew it, but chose to keep it to themselves. Why didn't they go public if they really had feelings for each other? This question has been asked by thousands of fans. If there really was a love, even if it was just in the past, why didn't they speak up? Some people think it's because Jamie is married. Some people say it's because Dakota doesn't want to hurt her current lover. It's also possible that they don't believe that love needs to be exposed to be real. The female writer Phoebe Lynn once wrote in her essay, "Love doesn't have to be a relationship. Sometimes, it's a space, a place you step into when the world outside is too noisy." Dakota and Jamie, perhaps, have created such a space for each other. Can unnamed feelings last a lifetime? Maybe. Because there are people who don't need to sleep in the same bed, don't need to make love, but can still become the most special person in someone's heart. Because there are relationships that don't need social recognition, still exist firmly, like a lighthouse that never goes out. People are often used to the idea that love must be owned, must hold hands and walk down the red carpet, must post souvenir photos on social networks. But Jamie and Dakota chose a different path, keeping the sacred in silence. The final word, from Dakota Johnson herself. In a confidential interview with a French magazine, when asked one last time, "Who is Jamie Dornan to you?" Dakota was silent. After a long while she answered, "He is the person I always think of first when something good happens. He is also the first person I remember when things go bad. For me, he is the person I don't have to question whether he is still there or not, because I know, if I need him, he will be there. And sometimes, that is enough."